1, 2, 3, 4. Mike and John got it going on. Mike and John got it going on. Mike and John got it going on. Mike and John got it going on.
What the hell?
I think it looks good right there.
You think
Look at that.
Well, I don't know.
And my shirt matches the lettering.
No, I think you gotta.
A little bit there? Okay, a little more me. All right.
See,
Shirt matches
here's the
lettering.
thing. The
You should have wore
space
red.
here is too much.
Space. Oh,
So
I gotta move over.
that's what I'm saying is if we're gonna have
Oh,
the
I
even,
see.
this is what
Our producer really
my
needs to step
OCD
up
can't take this.
Your old can do.
Let's use the big pencil. Maybe adjust there. What do you think?
That's perfect.
You know, this is great for the podcast audience. It's
It
like,
sure
what
is.
are they talking
We're
about?
adjusting
We're
the
adjusting
camera.
the camera.
Yeah, here we go.
You missed all that.
Thursday, the Less You Know with Rich Perlberg coming up today.
That's right.
Yeah, we'll talk about shoelaces with Rich.
We will.
No, I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Probably something. To
Well, a
do
little post primary breakdown,
with- Ooh, the
which was really
post-primary
it was a
breakdown.
great album.
I think there's
back in '96, if you remember.
There's a few breakdowns,
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah. So, yeah. So we'll looking specifically at a particular county commission race, which is of interest.
Was it?
So,
Oh, yes, it was.
well,
It was of interest.
the result was interesting.
Yes, very
Yeah,
interesting.
so, yeah. You're listening to Mike and John's Got It Going On.
Mike and John's?
Yeah.
I thought it was just Mike and John.
No,
Mike and John's.
it's mine.
There's two Johns. One's upstairs, one's down here.
Right. My evil twin.
Oh,
One's
so
out.
We got the good one.
One's
here?
out grooming.
Grooming sheep.
Yeah. uh-huh.
Yes. All right.
Yes, and don't be fooled. Don't be fooled
By fake.
by fake Mike and John Facebook pages.
Those liars.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
No, you stick with the
I-
real Mike and John.
The original. The OG. Mike
We
and
are the
John.
OG of the OG. Yeah.
Yeah. So while you're doing news, which is brought to you by Cooper and Binkley Jewelers, I will scan through last night's trivia answers
All right.
to see if we got a winner this morning. As we said, we'll have Rich Perlberg on with the Less You Know. We'll get to the answer and your 2-cent history lesson, all coming up. In the meantime, the latest local news here in Livingston County.
All right, here's what's going on. A criminal investigation's begun into the release of a toxic chemical into the Huron River. The Wixom Police Department says they're looking into the circumstances that led to the release of hexavalent chromium at Tribar Technologies into the city's wastewater treatment system. Also known as hexchrome, the compound is used in plastic finishing, and it's a known carcinogen. It's banned in Europe, and it's no longer used by many companies in the U.S. Because the discharge passed through the Wixom sewage plant, state health and environmental officials Tuesday issued a no-contact advisory for the river. Police officials told MLive.com their investigations assessing whether the release was something the company is either negligent or criminally liable for. This is not the first time the company's released contaminants into the river. Tribar's release of PFAS chemicals through the Wixom wastewater plant is the chief cause for the Do Not Eat Fish advisory issued for the river back in 2018 and still in effect. Based in Howell, Tribar operates 4 plants in Wixom. It's unknown from which the toxic release came from, but it is believed the release consisted of between 8 and 10,000 gallons of water with about 5% hexchrome. Meanwhile, state investigators Wednesday widened their water sampling effort at and downstream of that release site. The Michigan Department of Environment, Great Lakes, and Energy sampled 9 locations Wednesday with results expected Thursday to help track the pollutant's location as it moves downstream. The agency, in concert with partners from across the watershed, is developing a testing plan for the coming days and weeks. Results of the first 2 tests taken Tuesday at the mouth of Norton Creek and on the Huron River just downstream from Norton Creek did not detect the presence of hexchrome. Officials stressed that as the first 2 data points in what will be a lengthy test process, those 2 samples aren't sufficient to draw conclusions about the effects of the pollutant on the Huron River watershed. And the city of Howell has released details about road closures associated with the upcoming Melon Festival Parade. The parade will begin at 10 a.m. Saturday, August 13th. The route will travel westbound on Grand River between Almond Street and Byron Road. Closures between National Street and Byron Road will be from 7:30 in the morning until noon, and again, that is on Saturday, August 13th. Local melon farmers will be the highlight of the parade with special representatives from the Howell Armory, area first responders, and an honored favorite, the Detroit Shriners, a crowd favorite who will return for the year's 62nd parade. And that's what's going on.
Are the Shriners going to be in those little cars?
I believe they. How can they not? And how can they not be wearing fezzes?
Wait.
That's what Shriners do.
You know, we should get fezzes for Melon Fest.
Melon Fez.
Melon Fest.
Yeah. And then we could talk to our designers and maybe
They have a Melon Fez blowout.
I don't think we can.
I don't think so.
Melon Fez fezzes. What?
Cooper and Binkley Jewelers, proud sponsor of Mike and John Got It Going On. Gigo News, of course, downtown Brighton's preeminent jewelry store with a commitment to customer service, community involvement, honesty, professionalism, and exquisite merchandise. And today is the day for the estate jewelry sale. How'd you like to own some jewelry that was once owned by Sammy Davis Jr.?
Well, yeah. Is it his glass eye?
They're selling marbles over in the corner. No, that's just wrong.
I'm sorry. Well, just came to mind.
I don't think that a glass eye would be. Well,
you telling me in this world,
all right,
the world we live in, someone wouldn't wear Sammy Davis's glass eye like around their neck? Hey, I got Sammy Davis's glass eye.
Or instead of a gauge ear, they just put
Right,
it in their ear.
put it
Like,
there.
I'm watching you. Mom could put it in the back of her head and watch
Right.
it.
See?
Yeah.
I'm telling you,
Mom
it's
has
got
eyes in
value.
the back
Yeah.
of her head. It's Sammy Davis Jr.'s eye.
Right. But probably not, I'm guessing.
I doubt it.
Probably more the rings and stuff.
Elvis, Michael Jackson, Janet Jackson, Zsa Zsa Gabor, just to name a few. Even Buster Keaton.
Right.
That estate jewelry sale going on today from 10 to 7 at Cooper and Binkley Jewelers.
All right. 10 to 7 Thursday at Cooper and Binkley.
Yeah, that's today, August 4th.
Right.
So if you're watching this on
That's
the
what I'm
5th,
saying. We
if
always
it's
have to
August
say the
20th,
specific day.
and you're watching this, you missed it.
That's what I'm saying.
And
'Cause
you
people,
don't have
we
Sammy
do know,
Davis Jr.'s eye.
We do know people access the podcast like maybe it'll be a couple days later. So
Maybe a couple years later.
Oh, maybe.
You really missed it if you're
We could be
watching
talking.
this in
We could be talking to
2025.
the past right now.
How about that?
Ooh. It's like a time machine.
It really is. Is it really?
No.
Actually, having a glass eye sitting on the shelf behind us would be kind of fun.
Well, you know, maybe I should run over to Cooper and Binkley, and
I'd like to see you run.
that was a.
You mean drive over?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
they're having
get
the
an
estate sale. but
Well,
are they
perhaps you
doing
should sell
appraisals?
that.
You think?
Maybe you should try and
Maybe
sell that.
this glass ring could be part of the estate sale.
It's a classic.
I don't think so.
It's
You
it's
could wear the
definitely-
ring that John King rarely wore.
Yes.
That begged his parents for and then almost never wore
It's
it.
a classic Jostin.
Yeah. Oh God, yeah. Actually, I noticed it's
1986?
not a Justin. It's
1984.
a.
Oh, it's a knockoff. It's a Jostin.
Justin.
It's a Justin.
It's a Tewsbury.
Oh, the old
The
Tewsbury.
old Tewsbury.
That may be worth
Yeah.
more
Well,
because
you
it's
never know.
rare.
I think I'm gonna wear it today.
Oh, ladies. There you go.
Okay.
I'm getting a text here. Do you mind if I take the text?
Oh well, sure. You
Can I
can go
take
ahead.
the
We
text
don't want
during
to.
the
We
show?
wouldn't want to, interrupt you.
Well,
with this show that we
I'm
do.
lining up a guest for
Yeah.
the show.
Okay.
And this will be for tomorrow morning. Coach
Okay.
Minnock
All right.
is going to join us tomorrow. And they have a fundraiser going on during Melon Fest
Okay.
to raise funds for kids, underprivileged kids
Right.
that need funds for getting into
So
sports.
on Friday's podcast.
Right, tomorrow the 5th.
Right. We'll have.
And if you're watching this
Yeah,
in 2025,
sorry, no.
you missed it.
That's okay.
But you'll be able to catch it
Right.
if you go to our website, mikeandjohnpodcast.com,
Sure.
and listen to it anyway. And say, well, I didn't miss it. Boy, this time travel thing is really
I'm sorry,
messing
you're
with me.
confusing me. And that's, not
All right,
right.
so the guest has been booked for tomorrow.
All right, there we go. Friday,
Do we
Coach
have any
Minnock.
guests today?
We do.
Okay, who are we talking to?
We're talking to Rich Perlberg. For
Who's
the less
Rich
you know.
Perlberg?
Yeah.
Rich Pearl. I guess you want me to get him lined up.
Probably. Let's probably get him on the
All right,
phone. Yeah.
the Pearl Master.
We'll talk to him and then we'll take a look at the trivia.
Oh yeah, we're gonna.
We'll get to the trivia. We'll get to the trivia.
Well, people are dying to know if they're
Sure.
right.
Well, don't forget they're in the future.
Oh, that's right.
So
we're in the past. And can't get out.
We're in the past, all right.
Too many people looking back.
Yeah.
So look back at this and say,
Yeah. Uh-oh. We're
Don't
going to have
worry.
this happen again?
Don't
Again
worry.
with this?
Here's what we'll do. If I get his voicemail,
Yeah.
I'll hang up and call back again.
Well, that's what's
Because
worked in the
that's
past.
what you tell me to do.
Usually. I can't guarantee it, but oftentimes will work. The first call.
First call.
It's not going through.
Hi, this
Hang
is
up.
Rich.
Okay.
All right, don't worry. I'm going to call back right now.
Good morning.
What the hell, man?
Sorry to throw a wrench into your operation.
This thing is usually really
This is like
smooth,
the
Rich.
third week in a row.
Unless you know.
The third week in a row we've called, and the first call goes right to voicemail.
Here's what we're going to do now. I'm going to call you on Wednesday next week.
Oh, let's try
And
that.
just let it ring, and then I'm going to hang up, and that'll be your alarm for Thursday.
I gotta clarify something for my reputation. Though I went back and looked at the show, and you guys were suggesting that I don't get these calls because I'm smoking a cigar and drinking brandy.
In a bubble bath?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, well, in a bubble bath. Well, that part, but 7 a.m. in the morning.
Hey, man.
I don't do that till brunch.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah.
Well, that's right. You're retired, so
Right.
Well,
Well,
it would make sense.
It's brunch somewhere.
And to be clear, it's bourbon, not brandy.
Oh,
okay. No, all right. You gotta clarify. Now
Well,
that
that's
we
true,
know.
because if it's brandy, you got to have one of those big brandy glasses.
I know.
Swifter, sifter. Yeah.
Yeah. Bourbon is...
Bourbon, it's shots.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, bourbon, I mean, if you're
Oh,
going
you
to do it
just sip
right,
it?
you're just going to do it, take it neat.
Yeah.
And,
So you sip the bourbon.
No messy
It's sipping.
bourbon. Yeah.
yeah.
What's your bourbon of choice?
I wish I could say that I could differentiate a lot, but I'm pretty basic. Maker's Mark or Woodford Reserve. I like those.
Right.
And that stuff you get at Sam's Club? Oh, that's Members Mark. Sorry.
Yeah, no. Maker's Mark is decent. That's pretty decent bourbon.
Okay, well, look at you, all you two bourbon aficionados. Some people might need a little bourbon after Tuesday. Some people might need a lot.
Goodness.
Yes.
So,
Oh my goodness! I will tell you that's why I never bet on elections more than maybe a slice of pizza or something because, particularly the Megan Reckling race, I sure as hell didn't see that coming.
Right. So, here's for the 3rd District County Commission race. Here she's the head of the Livingston County Republican Party. She raised $30,000.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
I've done the math. That's $25 a vote.
yeah, right, and that's true, right? It's a primary, so there's not a great turnout, but and she lost to a guy named Frank Sample, and I have to be honest, I don't know who the hell Frank Sample is.
Well, I've done, in keeping with the title of this segment, I can tell you that I have no idea.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, so we all don't know. Now we know the name.
Well,
it's not Free Sample at Sam's. It's Frank Sample.
A south part of the county, maybe? Is that where the district goes? I saw someplace where there were a lot of signs out with his name on it.
right.
So there you go.
So, Frank Sample.
Yeah, he won it. It's not just that she's the head of the Republican Party. I mean, a lot of people don't know who that person is, but she's well known.
Right.
She got over 7,000 votes. She almost beat Bob Bizat 2 years ago in a state rep race. I mean, this is not a lightweight, and yet here she goes. She loses to somebody that we don't even know who he is.
Well, and to be
Wait a
fair,
minute, I got info on Frank Sample. He was a minor league baseball
I
player.
don't think that's the same Frank.
No, it's not the same
No, I
guy.
don't think it's the same Frank.
Bats right, throws right, 6'1", 180.
All right, well, maybe that's why he won. And to be fair, though, she lost by 29 votes. So it was a close race.
Was there a recount or anything? Or
Well,
was anybody protesting?
we haven't heard yet, but
Okay.
but nonetheless,
I mean, in recounts, you gotta have a reason to believe something
Right.
went wrong.
Well,
if there's a change in the vote, it's just as apt to go against you.
Right.
You know,
Well,
you know.
these days it's
anytime
like,
somebody doesn't win, they can claim there's something
Right.
wrong with the
well,
vote.
I lost, so clearly there's something wrong here.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with me as a candidate. Clearly,
How'd that happen?
you dummy voters didn't get it right.
I think Mike Detmar has already called for a recount for the election he's going to lose 2 years from now.
So, yes, we're gearing up to
what's
see
he running for now?
Who knows? I'll tell you what he's running from: the tax man. Hey-o! Hey-o! All right, thank you. Anyway.
Low-hanging fruit, but it never fails. Good job.
it's just so easy. But back to the Reckling thing. I wonder, and she's also, like you said, well-known, head of the local Republican Party, chief of staff for State Senator Delana Tice, who, by the way, easily defeated Mike Detmer, which you said was probably going to be the case, and that's exactly what happened.
What's she do with all the leftover money?
Well, it's like, I see the Recklings have a new pool.
That's a nice new car you got.
I'm wondering how she spent that. I mean, I'm not in their district, so I didn't get any mailings. I saw a little bit of social media presence, but that's pretty inexpensive to get those votes.
I mean, hell, we buy that.
$30,000 in the county commissioner race.
So I wonder, do you think maybe she got complacent? Like she thinks, hey, I'm well known, I'm head of the party, I'm chief of staff for Lana Tice, people know who I am, I'll just,
Kept
this is
those
good.
drag queens out of hall.
What?
I can't say that. I don't think that's fair to her. I think it's just really hard to call, especially when the races get small like this. I mean, it's not a very large race. It's a couple of townships, maybe. We spend a lot of time thinking about insider politics, insider baseball, trying to know all the details and all this stuff. And sometimes it's just who you know and how big a neighborhood you're familiar in.
Yeah. Well,
it's a small race.
And I guess at that scale, I wonder, and I don't know, but I wonder if Mr. Sample
had better sign.
Well, or if he hit the bricks, if he went door to door. I mean, I think back to 2002 when a very young Joe Yoon, walked his way into the state house because he went and hit the bricks, and no one knew who this guy was.
And he used malarkey.
And he looked like he was wearing his dad's suit. I mean, this young kid who he out hustled everybody else.
Yeah, we had a young reporter who came in and said, "Don't sell this guy short. He's going to every door." And he won by what, 1 or 2 votes?
It was very close. Yeah, he beat Dave Domas, who, by the way, Dave Domas is back on the county commission. Right. So what's old is new again.
It's hard to beat youth and vigor, isn't it?
Right. So, yeah. So.
That's something. Yeah.
So.
Okay, I thought it almost sounded like there was dead silence there.
Well, people wish it was.
Yeah, I mean, I think you just don't know in elections. I mean, that's at the end of the day, it turns out that who the voters like, and we spend a lot of time trying to predict that. But
right.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you just can't. You just never know until the end result. And then now we're looking at. We're definitely going to have a female governor.
Good point.
We're definitely.
It's the first time the Republicans have been a female. But you look at the top of the statewide races. 5 of the 6 candidates are women. There's only the Matthew DePerno, who's running as a Republican for Attorney General. He's the only male at the top of the ticket.
Right.
So that's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
I wonder what you guys think about this governor's race. I mean, you would think that Whitmer probably has the edge, her race to lose and all that, but I'm thinking this race is going to be pretty close.
Well, I would think so. I mean, it's going to be up to the voters.
Well, it is. Well, I think, Mike, you.
There's like a headline that supposedly in an Irish paper years ago it said yesterday's referendum went the way most voters wanted it to.
Right. Well, that's generally how we hope it works.
But I just think Tudor Dixon. I mean, nobody even knew if you went 4 days ago and stopped 10 people on the street and asked them to name 2 Republican candidates for governor, I bet you none of them could have done it. It was kind of
Well, I think Trump's endorsement.
I think Trump.
I think that made a big difference.
And saw who was winning.
Right. Yeah. No, there's no doubt about it. But I think his endorsement made a big difference. Chad Livengood, who's the reporter for the Detroit News. Is it the Detroit News? Yeah, I think so. No, he's Cranes. I forgot. That guy.
He was with him. He was there with the Cranes.
Yeah, I think you're right. He's with Cranes.
He knows Frank Sample.
Yeah. Yeah. No, but he was interviewing voters on Tuesday. He was in Howell and he was interviewing voters, and one of the people he talked to that had just voted for Tudor Dixon said, I really don't know who she is, but Trump said, it was like definitely like Trump said so I went and did it.
Wow, that destroys my theory, but
I mean, it's anecdotal. It's one person. That doesn't mean that's the trend, but
I think the DeVos backing was earlier and supplied money, but yeah, she won pretty handily. What, 40%?
Yeah,
the next one only had 20. So
yeah,
I think of the 5 that were left after the other 5 got booted. Of those 5, she was clearly I think personally, whatever it's worth, was clearly the best candidate they could put forward for the general election. I think
wasn't Rinke the one that had the zombies in his TV ads?
Yes.
Yes.
And then
Why does dead people always vote for Democrats? Yeah.
But I think
she had the breast cancer.
she's got a great story.
Yeah,
I mean, she's very telegenic. She's a breast cancer survivor. She's a mom.
Wasn't she a TV host?
She was a conservative, TV host, and so you see all that on paper and you go, okay. But I think that there's a structural problem in the fact that she is running in a party where Tudor Dixon and all Republicans, I think, have an abortion problem because she's already flip-flopping on that issue. And that is going to be, and if the Democrats are smart, and, well, that's not always a given, they're going to hammer home this abortion thing. It is a wedge issue that they can use to say, look, the Republican point of view on this is extreme. That they want this 1931 law which bans all abortions except if the life of the mother, not the health of the mother, but the life of the mother is in danger. So, for instance, if you have a 10-year-old girl like you had in Ohio who is raped and gets pregnant, sorry, you have to have that baby, which is...
Well, isn't she on record as saying a 14-year-old gets raped by her uncle has to carry the baby to...
There was things she said before that she's now kind of like hamana when she's asked about them.
That's any politician.
It's like being almost pregnant. She either got before
Well, but I think the point is that that's one of those. That's just one of them. The other one is the 2020 election. Before she was like 2020 was stolen. Trump should be the president, and most people go, well, no. And now she's like hamana. So she's going to have a problem. And again, if the Dems are smart, if Whitmer is smart, which I think she is, they will wedge this issue. They will force her hand on this, where it's like, you're going to have to, you can't just not say, you're going to have to say. And
I think you're right, Jim. I would say there's another issue too, and that's just, rather than getting strategic on this, get your freaking people out to vote. I mean, that's the biggest question. I saw a very troubling poll that said that the number of people who are pro-abortion are much more likely to vote than the people. No, I get that wrong. The number of people who are pro-abortion are much less likely to say they're going to vote in November than the people who are anti-abortion.
When was that poll done?
It was not long ago. I saw the same poll.
That just now Kansas just came out just different than that. Kansas came out strong. But I mean, I think you're right. That's a key issue, regardless of where you stand on the issue. Where is who's going to be most energized to vote on that issue?
Well,
if you don't have a Democrat, if you're pro-abortion rights, if you don't have a Democratic governor, who's going to stand in the way of the Republican legislature passing draconian bills?
Well, and you mentioned Kansas, and I think that's exactly the example I wanted to use. There's a great article in the Washington Post talking about how the pro-choice advocates in Kansas organized and were forceful and, again, organized and went out and said, because they knew most people, even in a state as conservative as Kansas, most people were not in favor of a complete ban on abortion. And when you really get out there and put that to people to say, are you in favor of a complete ban on abortion, and use some of these specific examples, people go, well, no, I'm not in favor of that. And you go, okay, then.
Well, you said organized. Remember Will Rogers said he wasn't a member of an organized
Right, exactly. No, that's always been an issue, and it's like I think I think Tudor Dixon, like I said, I think she's the best candidate the Republicans could put forward. I don't think in any way Whitmer or the Democrats can think like, oh, we've got this in the bag. They shouldn't. But I still think it's Whitmer's race to lose. I think that there are some structural issues for the Republican candidate that they are going to have to, because you can't please both sides.
No, they'll look at how COVID was handled on the conservative end of things. That will be the big challenge for Whitmer.
She's got a good issue there. I mean, she had a grandmother, I think, who died in a nursing home where the family couldn't go to see her because of the lockdown. Meanwhile, we got a governor who flew to Florida to see her dad.
Right, they'll bring all that up. I agree. Right. It's politics.
That's gonna.
But
I just think that's going to be the battle. Both sides are going to try to define the debate, and I think there's probably 80 to 90% of the voters. It won't matter. They've already decided. So the question is, do you get your voters out to vote?
No, that actually. Of all the things we've said, that is the most prescient and the most on point. It's
we might not know it, but we've learned it.
Yes, but you're right. It's who can motivate their voters to get out there, and I guess that's what I was alluding to before.
Well, it took you long.
Abortion, that issue is one of those issues where you can motivate, because that's an issue that where people are that's their issue. That's it. You're either yes or no. If you're pro-choice or you're pro-life. That can be you have many voters who they will define whether they vote for a candidate or not based on that single issue. It doesn't matter with everything else matches.
Let me toss this out here, and I haven't thought through enough, to be sure if this makes sense. But in Kansas, it wasn't a race for candidates; it was clearly on that specific issue.
Right.
And does that translate into a partisan race?
Only if this goes back to what I said before. If the Democrats are smart, if Whitmer's smart, they will make that the issue. They have and the thing is it's not a made up issue. It's a real issue. The Republicans have made it very clear that they want that 1931 law to be in effect now. Right now. No exception except for the life of the mother. That's it.
Now help me on this one. Have they decided yet? Will the initiatives that they get all those petitions in for the right to vote and abortion rights, will that be on the ballot in November?
I think it is. Yeah. I think they're getting it. They're getting it certified.
A number of signatures. I don't know if it's been substantiated yet, but that could also make a play.
Right.
You're going to get a lot of people coming out to vote.
Right.
That would be a motivator to get people out to vote.
Right, and on both sides. I mean, to be fair, Republicans and pro-life could say, "Oh, look at this. This is a very extreme proposal." That's how they're going to paint it. This is a very extreme proposal. We need you to come out and vote it down. So, right, those ballot initiatives. I mean, you look at 2018. I mean, yes, you had the absentee voting for all. That was that was very popular. But I'm sorry, the marijuana initiative in 2018 that drew a lot of people out who didn't otherwise vote. I mean, it drew a lot of those 18 to 24-year-olds who generally don't vote, who suddenly were like calling up their mom going, "How do I vote? And I want to vote on this. How do I vote?"
Dude.
I forgot about that. I mean, but the Republicans started that. They started out with anti-gay issues that they would put on the ballot to get the moral conservatives out, and then since they were there, they would elect Republicans, anti-marriage ballot stuff like that. So that's interesting. So yeah, that's a good point. If it's on the ballot, who does it motivate more to get out there?
Well,
time will tell.
We'll find out. All right, so
we haven't figured anything.
The last to know.
There you go.
Maybe that's the new segment. It's the last to know with Rich Pro.
All right, Rich. Go back to the bourbon and the cigar. We'll talk to you next week.
Yeah, not Brandy. Come on, man. She's a fine girl. Yes,
no, you did.
Yeah, I did.
You did.
Of course I did. You know what else I did? I became a customer of Firehouse Doors.
You did?
I did.
I thought you already were.
Well, I was.
Well, congratulations.
But at some point I did.
Yeah, you did.
Well, when I bought a garage door, I went to Firehouse Doors. Want to know why? Because they've been serving Livingston County residents for the past 24 years.
And they treat you like family.
Well, they do.
You
Family
have to have them
owned
over for dinner, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, crap. I got to clean up. All right. right, we got to wrap this show up. I got dishes to do. Firehouse Doors, veteran-owned. Mike, a proud U.S. Air Force veteran. And, of course, they're your one-stop shop for residential, commercial, and rolling steel overhead door needs. And for the past 21 years, Firehouse Doors has been Livingston County's only authorized distributor for CHI overhead doors. Call Firehouse Doors today, 810-599-7480. Unsurpassed customer service. Firehouse Doors.
Trivia question and answers today.
All right.
From last night's Wednesday night trivia, 20% of married people admit that they spend money without their significant other knowing about it on this. What is it?
So people put their name to this?
Yeah, they did.
Admit it?
20% of married people admit they spend money on this without their significant other knowing. Things for the kids. Yeah, I'll just buy that. Don't tell your mom. Gifts. Starbucks. See, now, for me, usually using a Visa, my wife gets the Visa bill and kind of scans through it, so I can't hide anything.
No. Well, my wife has all these the text notifications. Yeah. So sometimes I'll be at the scanner at Meijer, like, boop, and then I get a text like, ding, hey, what are you buying? Like, I just scanned it.
I don't know. I scanned by mistake.
What do you get away from me? Ah!
See, what you could do in that scenario is call the attendant over and say, "Hey, can you just take this off?" that was one of those impulse buys that
I don't know too. Or you ask the guy next, "Hey, buddy,
I'll give you cash."
I'll give you cash. You
That's when you know it's a bad thing.
What are you buying? Buyer.
Car stuff.
Yeah.
Fast food. And Tina said, in my family, horses.
Oh.
I don't think you could really hide that.
How do you... let's see.
Electronics.
I see this $8.99 at Burger King, and then the oil change, and then what is this $14,000 charge?
Flicka. Who is that?
Yeah.
Let's see. Clothes. Pretty popular. I'll buy this and slide it in the closet. A pet. I think the significant other would notice that. Or, well, maybe if you have a pet and you're buying extra toys or
if you're buying...
a couple of people said lottery tickets. But the winning answer was gambling.
Yeah.
The answer was gambling.
Now, does that include lottery? I mean, lottery is gambling.
That is gambling, technically. But that one you can kind of hide the evidence. So, lost, gone. Never happened.
I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah.
So, yeah, congratulations to Linda. Linda got that one right.
Okay.
Gambling. 20% of people.
Gamblers.
1 in 5. I'm not a big gambler, so. Yeah. But, with the apps on your phone these days, it can look like you're just, hey, I'm taking care of some business here. Oh, it's a 1 to 50 odds. I got a buck.
Oh, wait a minute now. Oh, no.
How about
that? I got the 3.
Ooh.
You got the 3 diamonds. Yes.
Damn. Reckoning lost. I bet on that one.
Well,
all right.
You should have bet on Sample. You know what? I'm going to put the word out right now. Frank Sample. Give us a call. We want to talk to you.
Yeah.
Who the hell are you?
And was your batting average really
right? Were you this minor league player?
Were you right-handed?
We want to know.
That's right.
Someone get a hold of Frank Sample. I want to talk to Frank
Sample. Played for the Ozark team?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, moving on.
August 4th, our 2-cent history lesson for today. It is Chocolate Chip Cookie Day.
All right. Nothing, no walnuts, none of that crap.
No. Walnuts are all right, but not in a chocolate chip.
No, chocolate
you're expecting a chocolate chip.
Yeah. We're purists. I mean, you want to get an issue to get people out to the polls? That's the issue. Should there be walnuts and chocolate chip cookies? People are like, get away!
All right. It's National IPA Day. That's India Pale Ale.
I don't like it. People love them.
It happens the first Thursday of August.
It ain't my thing.
And that would be today. Single Working Women's Day.
You said the 1st of August?
The first Thursday.
First Thursday.
First Thursday in August is always IPA Day.
IPA Day.
IPA.
No, it's OPA. No? It's supposed to be OPA. When they light the cheese on fire.
I wonder what Frank Sample would think of IPAs.
I don't know. Frank Sample, we want to know. What's your stance on IPAs? Huh, fella? You're going to be on the county commission. You gotta get up. You gotta
stand.
Come on, get up. We want to stand. What is your stand on IPAs?
1693. A 17th century Benedictine monk by the name of Don Perrion is said to have invented sparkling wine during his days as a cellar master in the Abbey of Hautevillers,
Okay, sure.
which is a small town in France.
There is a lot to unpack in that sentence.
Yes. Today, the prestige brand of champagne, Dom Perignon, bears his name.
Well, yeah.
So a monk who was a cellar keeper.
I'm the cellar
A
keeper.
cellar master.
So this is the
He's
guy
a
that they
cellar master.
shoved down in the basement.
He was a nasty.
And he's down there. He's like, "Well, I got some wine.
Don't put your kids in the basement.
Yeah,
They may be
oh.
developing things.
I got some sprinkler water.
Put a little
Hey,
champagne
wait
in
a
there.
second here.
Yeah. So sparkling wine, Dom Perignon. 1883, the steam shovel was introduced.
Okay.
Let that sink in.
Oh yeah.
1916, the U.S.
I mean, who's ever seen a steam shovel?
I have when I've picked up dog poop.
Yeah. Steaming pile.
Ooh.
That's different.
Yeah. 1916, the U.S. bought the Virgin Islands from Denmark.
Yeah.
$25 million. Virgin Islands. Never been there.
Just buy some island. Hey, here you go.
Call it the Virgin Islands.
These are ice
'cause
cap.
I've never been there.
Well, they're not virgin anymore.
President Carter, whose brother made Billy Beer, which technically could have been an IPA.
I don't
Independent
know.
pale ale.
Billy Beer. No.
No?
That's like anti
Billy
IPA.
Beer?
Yeah.
Beer and peanuts?
Peanut beer. What have they ever made peanut
No,
beer?
no.
Go on. Yes. What about Jimmy Carter?
But I think there is a peanut butter vodka.
Oh yeah, that for sure.
All right. President Carter signed a measure establishing the Department of Energy.
Oh, okay.
Are you looking up peanut butter beer?
There's peanut butter beer, yeah. I was looking for like just peanut beer.
Huh. That's nuts. 1984.
Really? You're gonna get all over me for
If you're
Yeah.
throwing out stupid dad jokes.
gonna outdo me on those, are you?
Prince started a 24-week run at the top of the U.S. charts with the album Purple Rain. 1984 sold 20 million copies worldwide. The album better than the movie.
Oh yeah. The movie is funny because it's one of those movies that at the time people are like, oh, it's such a great movie. And then you watch it and you're like, this is kind of dumb. This is really kind of stupid. It's got some fun scenes,
Sure.
but yeah, it's kind of dumb.
Get this. 1987, the FCC,
What they do.
the Federal Communications Commission.
I know those guys. My license is right over there.
They
Which
voted
I-
to rescind the Fairness Doctrine.
Don't need anymore.
We're rescinding the Fairness Doctrine, he said. Make everything unfair.
Well, at the Fairness
It required,
Doctrine, yeah.
radio and television stations to present balanced coverage of controversial issues.
Right.
We'll have none of that.
And-
You tell your side, and that's it.
That's right.
No-
and,
no
and,
other
and,
side.
and about 5-6 years later, Fox News sprung up. Here we are. Oh, we don't have to tell both sides?
MSN.
Well, excellent. A lot of people say we need to go back to the Fairness Doctrine. That needs to be reinstituted.
That's what a lot of people are saying.
You know, people are. What does Frank Sample think? Frank, we need to know.
Yeah, we do.
What's your stance on
County
IPAs?
Commissioner, come on.
What's your stance on the Fairness Doctrine?
That's not fair. If we don't like what you have to say, we're not putting you on. All right.
Many kids have an idea. That's not fair.
Life isn't fair.
I want Mom said he's gonna have the Fairness Doctrine.
And finally, in 2010, Don Henley reached an out-of-court settlement with Republican senatorial candidate Chuck DeVore. You know Chuck DeVore.
Well, yeah, who doesn't?
He used parodies of two of Henley's hits for an election campaign without Don's permission.
Although I thought parody
There
was
was
fair
parody
use.
of All She Wants to Do Is Dance and The Boys of Summer were used in campaign YouTube videos as All She Wants to Do Is Tax
Okay,
and Hope for November.
how clever. I always thought parody it was fair use if you were parodying.
Maybe
something.
not in a political
Yeah,
arena,
must be
but
some-
they settled on
You know what it
court,
is?
so it's a
Because there's
little-
no fairness.
Here,
back then.
Henley.
Wasn't fair.
Here, Don. Here's a few bucks. A little hush money for the Henley.
Right. Yes, because I'm sure he's really
He
hurting
needed
for
hush
cash.
money.
I'm sure. Did you see how much those Eagle tickets went for? Dear God.
Yeah, but he's got to split it with the band.
Oh
He-
yeah.
You know, taking
Oh,
his
poor Don.
StubHub.
Oh,
Don, he-
oh.
he
I'm
can't
just-
even pay for
he's-
parking
he's
anymore.
clinking his cup of the break. Hey, buddy.
Playing the tune to it, you know. That's,
By the way, you cannot make beer from just peanuts.
well,
The
duh.
peanut butter, they need it. But, however, they pointed out you have to use starch to make beer, so you can actually use packing peanuts. You could make a beer out of that.
That'd fill you up.
You wouldn't want to drink it, but you could make a beer out of it. So.
Imagine burping that stuff back, throwing that stuff back up. Well, weren't packing peanuts supposed to be edible?
At one point, right, where they were going to try
I think they did try that. That didn't work.
No. Well,
those are those
they're
other
working on it.
peanuts that you see that look like marshmallow ones.
Oh my
Those are packing peanuts.
Those could be, because no one wanted to eat those. Look,
and they harden up though.
Look,
they didn't really protect.
As a kid, you would eat almost any candy.
Not that.
All right.
No.
And
not that.
Well, I probably would eat them. Who am I kidding?
That's
I'd probably eat
material.
them, but they would be the end. That would be the end.
Oh, sure.
That'd be at the bottom of the pillowcase.
You're at the
I
Halloween.
would,
end of the Halloween
like,
candy.
I guess all I got are these orange and black caramel things and these packing peanuts.
What if I put them together?
Mold them into a big ball.
Hey guys, want to go play some street hockey?
That's right.
All right, that's your 2-cent history lesson. We hope you learned a little something
I
today.
doubt it.
Probably not. Don't worry. For those that watch us on YouTube, post show's coming up.
That's right.
It's going to be big.
By the way, Murphy's Family Auto, hiring an office help, porter service advisor type job.
With Mike and John.
Hold on. Sorry, Cougar. Pay is based on skill and experience. I kind of hit a little too soon there.
Yeah.
Call Murphy's Family Auto, 517-552-3040 for details, or stop in. They're open Saturdays 8 to 1. You can tell them Mike and John sent you. Save 5% on your bill. It's Murphy's Family Auto. Your car knows. Murphy'sFamilyAuto.com. And you know what? That reminds me.
What does that remind you of, John?
Susan, who joined us on Monday, and by the way,
was
people
performing at the
people
Beeline.
really enjoyed the fact that she was here in the studio with us. So
They did?
yeah. So maybe we should open up the studio to more in-studio guests,
We could do that.
as long as they're hot cougars. But please join us. But yeah, she's going to be playing at the Beeline every Wednesday night.
Yes, she is.
So come join it and enjoy her music. I think Stephen Keener's also going to do there. I
Yeah,
think
he
he's
does
on
Thursdays.
Thursday nights. So
You know, the cool thing is you can request the Mike and John thing,
Yes, yeah.
and she'll play it over
Here-
and over.
here's
It's,
what-
it's
yeah.
better than Phoebe's Smelly Cat.
well, that's a pretty low bar. So
Smelly Cat.
yeah,
Smelly
maybe that's the name of this podcast. Pretty low bar with Mike and John.
By the way, the audience at that Mike and John Got Lives going on, still 9 numbers.
Oh, hold on.
You've been giggling with Mike and John. Tune in next time and giggle on.
Okay.
All right, so I joined the crime scene investigation team.
Post show. So we're talking about the Mike and John Got Lies going on Facebook
And now
page.
this apparently, it says the group was created June 22nd of 2020. This has been seen by 2 people. Mary Sue.
Okay, well that's impossible.
Yeah.
So what this was some other page and somebody renamed it.
Yeah,
That's what they did.
Yeah, they
so this
did.
was God knows what this was before.
yeah.
But if you see the Mike and John Got Lies going on,
It's
what,
not
how many
hard.
members do they got?
They got 9 members.
So how many members did they have yesterday?
9.
Yeah. How many the day before?
I don't know.
I think they had 9. How many tomorrow? 9.
Probably 9.
Yeah.
Yeah. The name was changed on June 15th of 2022.
See, there you go.
So they just changed
Can you
it.
click the see all?
See?
Yeah. What did it used to be? It doesn't say.
It
Okay.
doesn't say.
Hey, we can report that group.
Yeah, we can. Should I report that group? For nudity or sexual activity?
God, let's hope not.
Harassment or bullying?
Hate speech, unauthorized sales,
Violence, false information,
fake information, or spam.
spam.
Why is there not an all of the above?
Yeah.
What do you think?
How about they're just douche turds?
Yeah, that's
That's
why
what
they're
I
not
do.
just they're being douchey.
That's kind of harassment in a way. I think.
You know what? Well, let's let them go.
You want to let them
You
have
know,
that little page?
Yeah.
I mean, if they like posting our pictures and looking at them every day, that's fine. It's a little weird, but
Yeah.
you know, if you want to be a stalker,
Yeah.
Go
It's almost
for
like
it.
they're grooming. What's wrong with those people?
they've got 9 people they've already
Yes,
recruited.
mhm.
They live in a
It's
shack.
Quite a
Actually,
little,
it's
quite a little band of merry men.
a little tent out in the
Yeah.
woods together.
Not that there's anything wrong with that. Well,
Have
okay.
fun.
Yeah. Okay.
In your little tent out in the woods. Playing the banjo.
Right. All right, this meeting of the Mike and John Haters Club has come to order.
No chicks allowed.
No, chicks allowed. Don't worry.
We smell kind of funny because we're living in a tent
Yes.
down by the river.
Wish we had a fan.